Alright, so quick update. So in an attempt to try and assimilate the project, I've simplified it into my rubber bands. As you know, there's what I've simplified into it is volition, enjoyment, and pride. Now these I've been trying to assimilate them into my character, and so it's kind of like a continuous process. So I'm constantly thinking about them. Usually the way that goes is that I get distracted, and because I get distracted, I just ignore it all day, and I don't get around to actually assimilating it. But I've been doing things every day that will require me to constantly try and assimilate it, to constantly try and practice it. So I've gotten to the point where I'm obsessing myself over it enough to make sure that I'm on task, that I'm on top of things. So that seems like a good sign. On the other hand, I'm neglecting everything else in my life, so things get kind of hectic because I'm so focused on doing this one thing. I'm so focused on working on my project that everything else is just kind of second priority, is kind of last priority. So these days I've been kind of absent-minded in everything else in my life because I'm so focused in trying to assimilate these principles. But I think that's actually a good thing, because that means that the more obsessed I am over it, the more focused I am in getting it done, and that means that I will eventually get it done. It gets kind of difficult to practice it, there's other things that I need to figure out. I still haven't figured out, completely perfected the unknown protocol, and then there's this oblivion protocol that just popped up yesterday in my thoughts that I need to take care of. And then other things like, I haven't given that one a name. Yeah, so there's other things that I need to do that I haven't really taken the time to lay them out because I'm so focused on doing the practice part of it. That's how you ride on the grass. I was doing some field work, and I actually met my quota today, which is something that I didn't really expect to do the day before. I didn't really expect to meet my quota, but I did, and so I mean it's a big accomplishment. The thing is that even after I met the quota, even after I accomplished that, I didn't feel accomplished. I didn't feel like I could reward myself with a break. I didn't feel like I could reward myself with anything, because I don't know. I guess the quota wasn't really what I was trying to achieve. My goal was not to meet a quota. My goal was to achieve an attitude, and even though I met the quota, I felt like I hadn't really achieved the attitude. My goal was to be able to achieve an attitude that would help me be relaxed in my mission, and to achieve an attitude that would give me an identity, and that attitude would be my identity. Anyways, I didn't really achieve this, but at least now I know what I want. What I want is this attitude, not just a quota. I guess the quota would just be, meeting the quota would just be a reflection of my accomplishment of embodying this attitude. But as long as I don't achieve this attitude, I still have that frustration, whether I meet the quota or not, I still have this frustration, and this frustration follows me everywhere. And I can't relax until I achieve it. Basically, by definition, I can't relax until I relax, because what I'm trying to achieve is relaxation. So basically, the only thing that I want to be able to do is to achieve this attitude. And me going out and doing this field work, me going out and doing these experiments, it's not about the results, but these experiments are more like a mirror. They show me how much of the attitude I was able to embody. But I don't want, it's not that I want to achieve the results, it's that the results will tell me how much I've achieved my goal of embodying the attitude that I want to embody. Whether I met the quota or not, because I still can't do it safely, I still can't do it comfortably, I still can't do it, it still doesn't come naturally to me. I know that the attitude that I'm trying to embody hasn't been completely assimilated yet. And that's why I can't be satisfied. That's why I'm still frustrated. That's why I can't, even though I met my quota, that's why I feel like I haven't done enough, like I haven't rewarded myself. That's why I feel like I can't go home and rest. And that's why I can't put the matter aside. And, that's why I can't take a break. Achieving the state of mind that I want to achieve, that is my break. That should be my break. That's the point when I can relax. And I can't relax yet, because I can't manage to embody it. Nonetheless, although I didn't really manage to achieve this attitude, manage to embody this attitude, I take consolation in the idea that I'm continuously pressured to achieve it. And because of that, because I'm continuously pressured to achieve it, I am bound to achieve it, because it's always in the back of my mind. And it's like I'm being pushed underwater, and when you're being pushed underwater, the only way to go is up. The only way to go is out of the water. And right now, because it's overwhelming me, I know that I have to achieve it. I know that I'm going to achieve it, because I'm only going in one direction here. My only option is to go up. My only option is to get out of the water. There's nothing else for me to do. There's nothing else that I want. And that's how I know that I will learn how to swim. And that's how I know that I will take a breath, and that I will finally one day live outside of the water. That I will one day live outside of oppression. It's bound to happen. I'm giving myself no other choice. It's all about focusing. Whoa! Let's go big two deep right there. It's week 1.5 that I've been doing the field work, the applied part of my project, and things feel different. I don't know how I feel about how fast things are changing, but they do feel different, and that does make me feel excited. I am more aware of my surroundings. When I look at people, it feels like I can feel them more.
it feels like I can relate to them more. And that's strange, because that means my whole life I've been closer to a psychopath. I've never considered myself anything like that. I mean, I do have empathy. Nothing of the clinical type of sociopath, but I feel like now there's more of a connection. When I see people actually, I don't just see their face, their expressions, and what they portray in the present, but I kind of feel their history. That still takes effort, though. I haven't perfected practicing that, but nonetheless, it makes me feel safer in the world. It makes me feel safer around people, and makes me feel more alive in general, especially when the sounds naturally quiet down and I can feel the world around me. Something that I'm a little concerned about is that the experiments that I'm doing, they're getting easier. And I'm not sure if I should allow them to get even easier before I move on to the next stage, or if I should push the progress of the next stages so that they feel like I'm getting the same amount of challenge that I got with the first experiments. Of course, it's easier to say to just wear things out, just work at the same level until everything gets easier and then move up a step. But I feel like there's something else that I need to keep in shape. I need to stay on my toes, and that's my perception of challenge. That's my affinity towards challenge. And regardless of my progress in the project, I feel like I should have the same amount of stress applied on me so that I can continue to practice relaxing the same amount, so that I can continue to practice conquering the same amount of challenge. So it's a week and a half. It should have been 2 weeks now, but I was lazy for a few days, so I'm only counting half. There's been 2 progressions in the practice sessions. The initial progression was, one was just kind of like getting in tune with the body. The second progression involved an actual action, a physical action. And they will get intensively more intense. They will get gradually more difficult every week. That's what I've planned. But I'll give the details on that at another time. This is the first day that I actually felt like it was too easy. Like I should turn it up a notch. And that gives me hope. Today was a little bit different. And they all went fine. But the 7th one was a little weird. I don't think I can talk about this. Maybe one day when I'm more open, then I'll mention these stories. But right now, there's still some things that I have to work through before I can share this comfortably.
Die! 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 You guys not die! Die! You Ah!